Good afternoon, this is Jeff with Sewer Tech Northwest. We are at 4860 Hastings Drive here in Lake Oswego. We are located at the front of the house here. We're just to the left of the front door. I describe everything as if you were standing out in the street, facing the front of the house. So, smack dab in front of the very first foundation vent you come to here is a 3-inch ABS cleanout. That's going to be our point of access. We're going to check the overall condition and serviceability of the sanitary sewer line. Water is running and we'll zero out the foot counter at the base of the cleanout. Real quick on the note of the cleanout, it's got a storm grate over the top of it that allows debris to fall into the line. Just need to get a thread-on style cleanout plug, 3-inch diameter, and that'll screw right into there and prevent that from happening. You can see how we got some cobwebs and bark dust and whatnot getting in here. So honestly, more than anything, you don't want either a big lump of debris falling in there. More than anything, it's very easy for little kids to remove. Little kids often can't help but drop things down open pipes. So. Alright, we are now heading away from the house here. Off we go. You're going to see a little bit of schmaltz move past the camera. That's the junk my camera knocked loose going down the clean out there. That stuff will move right on its way. This may have been some debris right on this turn here. We're going to take a second look at that. I think that may have been some debris that had gone down the clean out. There was a little... It almost looked like a tiny little twig there, but we will take a second look at that to try and verify if it could be something like a root intrusion. Alright, swapping over here to 3034 PVC pipe, 4-inch diameter. So we do have a reasonable layer of grease buildup throughout the line here. That's this kind of brown tannish stuff you see in the flow line. And we'll get a better view of that on the way out, but you know, you've got a half decent layer of it. Most of that comes from the cooking process, just fats, greases, and oils going down the line. And what you have here is a conglomerate. You can see I'm peeling that debris off the pipe bottom there. It's not pure grease. It's grease combined with paper products. And so that's kind of the concern with grease buildup, is it causes things that would otherwise make it through the line to get stuck to the pipe bottom. So it makes it more likely stuff will build up in the line, and when blockages do happen, it makes them block much more effectively. They're less likely to break loose on their own. But otherwise here, aside from some grease buildup in the line and possible question mark at a joint, so far flow through the line is good, slope and grade's good. I'm going to probably recommend some cleaning on the line. Alright, and there's our main lateral connection at about 62 feet. We're going to turn the water off here, let the line drain out. We're going to do probably a toilet flush or so, just to help break some stuff loose that my camera loosened up. And before I go locate, I'm going to run the camera back and forth here to help loosen stuff up when that toilet flush comes through here. There we go. Alright, we're going to go locate here while the line drains. Alright, located the camera head successfully. Line terminates out on Hastings Drive. So as you face the house from the street, again, the line exits out just to the left of the front doorway. It then jaunts under the driveway. The driveway is split up into 3 different panels. Where that locate comes in out in the road. When I turn around and stare back at the house, I'm looking right up the far left driveway panel, right up the middle of it. So it jaunts into that section of the concrete there and then straightens out and shoots off to the road. And the line terminates on the far side of the street, just a couple feet away from the curb on the opposite side of the road there. And we'll see how much stuff my camera knocked loose here. Sometimes the camera goes through and loosens things up. It'll start sloughing off really easy. Like right now, what you have left over here, for instance, is not stuff I would recommend cleaning on. It would be nice, but not the ultra meaningful stuff. Getting a little bit thicker as we come back in here, but yeah, you still have some spots in here with some decent buildup. How much of that though is loosened up is hard to say. I do drain cleaning as well, and there's a lot of circumstance where I come back to clean lines like this, and you know, a few days later, and a portion of it sloughs loose too. Anyway, it's something I'm going to recommend you do. There's enough in here. I'd like to see it cleaned out. Not a nightmarish level of grease buildup. It's mostly the kind that's going to affect mostly improper items. Wipes, balled up toilet paper, you know, stuff like that. Stuff that really shouldn't go down the line by and large. It's not at a level where it would just be causing blockages on its own under proper usage scenarios. At this point anyway, now that my camera's gone and cleaned all that stuff out for the most part. Transition joint there looks good. It's that spot I wanted to look at on the way out right here on this turn. We don't get a superb view of it, but when I look right around that, get the camera to bend around that corner there, I don't see anything protruding out. And I originally didn't think it looked like a piece of debris that had come from behind the camera, something that had fallen down through that little storm grate that was acting as the cap. In fact, it looks like one of the little twigs from the tree sitting right over the top of it here. So anyway, no root intrusions there. Line has great slope and grade, zero standing water issues. I'm going to flip the camera around here for just a second and go and push back through the foundation wall. Everything from that point and beyond is all exposed piping. Not the kind of stuff you necessarily need to have a camera for. You can get in the crawl space and look at it with your eyes. All right. And no settling issues going back into the home here. You do have some grease buildup going back in, so I'm going to recommend the line be cleaned out, and I do recommend re-scoping afterwards. One, to check the work, but two, you know, depending on if you do that pre-sale or during it, I mean, at least, you know, show a nice clean line. But as this line currently sits right now, it is still very much a functioning sewer line. Again, the kind of grease buildup you have in here is not the kind that's going to cause problems if you know, when you're treating the line correctly. It's more so when abusive items go down the line. Stuff that doesn't disintegrate, and or when, you know, multiple big wadded up pieces of toilet paper go down the line, stuff like that. Flushable wipes. Anyhow, we have good flow end to end here. All the pipe we just scoped there is in good condition. You'll have improved flow and functionality after the line is cleaned. But nice looking sewer line there.